So I wanted to make a video on my perspectives of David Wilcock because not only is the information him putting out very sensitive, there's a lot of troll bots really skewing perspectives, commenting and throwing out their content and whatever, but there's also a lot of well-meaning people who are just getting completely swept away by the amount of information and different perspectives, and I mean, they just don't know what to think. So I want to give you my perspective, and also within this perspective, I believe it'll not only help you understand what David Wilcock might be saying, but also just helping you discern information in general. Because in this day and age, we not only have to be good researchers, but we have to be good researchers of the research because of all the skewed perspectives. So in this video is just going to be a couple tools to help you keep in mind when you're discerning information. And first and foremost, I want to start this with saying that David Wilcock is human. He's human, and he has a specific niche. And I think a lot of people, because of the devout following that David Wilcock has and the type of information that he's putting out, people view him as being some type of like god genius figure. And yeah, he's really good. I mean, in my opinion, he's really freaking good at that niche he has, but he is human. And what that specific niche is with him is that what he's doing is completely breaking away from what I call the left brain science that we've been indoctrinated with for, you'd say, a few hundreds of years now. And he's aggregating huge amounts of the alternative or the right brain sciences, as I call them, into a usable fashion for the layman, for, the muggles, people like myself and whatnot. So his books, in his articles and stuff he does, he's taking so many different concepts and just trying to tie them in together. All the sciences that we're not taught, and that is a tough task. So because that he is a human, right? He puts his left pant on and his right leg on the same way. Maybe he goes right to left, but he wipes his ass just like the rest of us. He's going to make a mistake in that aggregating of information. So people write his ass for acting like he's a liar, but you don't understand how freaking tough of a job that he's doing is. And also, if you notice, like one thing I noticed during that Atlantis Antarctica lecture was that the subject of 2012 came up, right? And I'm sure David would deal with this shit all the time. 2012 comes up, and David, being the human he is, he admitted that he was wrong. He's like, yeah, 2012, that was kind of a flop. And he knows that. He's not going to act like when he's wrong that he's not. Because I don't know if you remember, I've been a Wilcocker for a while now, since about 2011, because his first source field book was actually a primary awakening step for me. There was a lot of mass arrest talk right before 2012 and a lot of talk of a event occurring, and he got it from a certain source that I won't name. I could name, but I'm not going to do that here. Obviously, the mass arrests didn't happen. All that, just kind of a big flop. And as Corey Good said on stage during that Atlantis lecture, he's like, 2012, something changed, but not the way we think. Exactly. And Dave knows that. He admit he was wrong. Also, what I want to make note of here, when he doesn't know something, or he's passing along information, he says that. Okay? So you can be really, you can get a feel for how egotistical someone is by how much they admit they're wrong and what they admit they don't know. Like the Aristotle, or who said that? Socrates, Plato? I don't know. He's like, all I know is that I know nothing. So you really have to humble yourself. And that's what he does. So during that Atlantis lecture, he was reiterating what Pete Peterson told him. And during much of that information, he's like, take it or leave it. You discern it and distill it on your own. Because all the best mentors, all the best guides, all the best teachers, what they do, they're just way showers. That's what I try to do in these videos. I always link stuff down below. I'm like, this is my perspective. Go check it out. He just shows the way. And he tells you, right, discern at your own cost. So, yeah, I don't feel like he's a disinformation troll at all. I feel like he's just aggregating huge amounts of information. He is telling people, hey, this is what I found. This is what I think of it. Go check it out for yourself. and he's bound to get things wrong now and again. And also, lastly, what I think needs to be realized is in regards to that niche he has, that specific niche that he's doing right now, specifically, is disseminating very time-sensitive, pertinent disclosure information, right? And I think a lot of people get his popularity and his devout following caught up, and it makes them bias their perspectives, is that you have to realize that David, what he's doing, yes, it's important, but it's no more important than a lot of other people in the picture right now. David Wilcock giving all that disclosure information is just as important as Johnny Physicist over here making his 0-point induction implosion free energy device. Okay? David's waking people up in the masses to the idea of this working. But this still needs to work, right? You get how those two are just as important as each other? Take popularity out of the picture. My little YouTube channel over here, just as important as everything. We all have a piece to the puzzle, right? That's going on in this whole awakening. All have a piece to the puzzle. David, he takes a long time to get out his articles and his work and whatnot. So people like me, little independent investigators, just putting up little videos, very important to the picture because we keep a lot of content out there. Me and others keep content out there. We keep people informed, which is crucial with breaking news stories and whatnot. David can't do that. It takes him a long time to get work out. So you got to understand there's different niches. And don't look at one person and expect them to do everything and know everything. There's a lot David doesn't know about. Like, for instance, he could. I don't know what the dude knows. But, like Johnny Physicist here, he's focusing his time and energy on understanding how to create a free energy device. I'm sure there's people out there that know more about that specific niche than David Wilcock does. So you can see how everybody is important to this picture. So anyway, those are my thoughts, right? Whenever you look at somebody, just think of them being human just like you, and they're not going to know everything. Distill that information they give you and discern it, and really kind of see how they act when they don't know something and they're giving you information. If they act like they're the authority and they're the all-knowing being, you might want to just be wary of how and what they tell you and why. And, people are bound to get stuff wrong. It's going to happen. It happens to me all the time. So, yeah, those are my perspectives on that. I don't think he's a disinfo agent. I just want you guys to become much better discerners because we all have, the same abilities. We all have the same magic within us to do things like David is doing. Every single one of us can do it. And that's also a cool thing about what he says, is that he says that we all got the power. And that's what really makes me resonate with certain people and what they say. If they say that people like you and I have the power, then boom, I trust them. So I just wanted to make that video for you guys. Anyway, peace out.